The Mindmap edition of the I Love Marketing model. Specifically, this is a demo video made for our marketing students. This is Bong de Ungria of the Ateneo Graduate School of Business taking you through this requirement. As an outline, there are a couple of mandatory requirements in the mind map. First, you have to cite the reference or source of information. Second, you should put a print screen of the first level mind map. A third requirement is a 3-level mind map print screen. And if there's any enough information available, you can also take a 5-level edition of your mind map. Finally, you also put a mind map with the narration as you go from the first to the third level. And finally, a summary of everything in the mind map. So, except for number 4, the required output needs number 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So the reference material for this mind map video is another video and PowerPoint presentation available on the web at www.bongdeungria.com. Just search for the words I Love Marketing Model and a blog post will lead you to the video and PowerPoint version of this model. The model actually looks like this, and this is a visual model which helps students remember. Now, instead of this visual model, we'll try to translate this into mind map. So the first level mind map is this. What we see are the first level ideas that can possibly serve as an outline of the presentation. So I'll not explain it here. I'll put the explanation in the version where we go from the first level to the 5th level of the mind map. So this is a required output, a 1-level deep outline of the content. This is what we refer to as a 3-level deep mind map. So you count 1, 2, and 3. So these are 3 levels, and here there's also 3 levels, 1, 2, 3. Of course, if there's not enough information in a branch to make it 3 levels, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So here, there are just 2 levels for this branch, but 3 levels for this. Now, try to make as much as possible the ideas in bullet format, so you don't need to spell it out in sentences, and you want each of the branches to be consistent. Maybe in tense or in form, they should be consistent and really a concise summary of the ideas you want to present. So this is a 5-level deep mind map, and I'd like to emphasize that this is an elaboration which is possible only if there's enough data in the reference material. So again, why do we call this 5 deep? Because you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 as far as depth of information available for this first level idea. The next couple of slides in the video are actually the narration of the mind map as we go from the first to the third level. And in this case, since I have a 5th level, as we go to the 5th level. This is a recording from an actual class session conducted with my V81 marketing class. Okay, so to me, there are 4 key concepts, 3 major topics to that. The first one is the 3 strategic C's, 3 KRAs. KRA is key result areas. The second one is market opportunity. The third is four-piece marketing mix or branding. And the fourth one are the three generic winning strategies. Okay, so one of the key concepts of the entire course and of marketing is we have what we call three strategic C's. These are customers, competition, and company. Okay, everything that you decide, whether it's a plan, it's an execution, it's an evaluation, you have to consider these three things, which start with the C: the customer, the competition, and the company. Just taking one perspective is incomplete. Taking two is not enough. You have to always consider the three C's. Okay, so what happens if you're just customer focused? You can get things wrong because the customer is not always right. Some some companies are very company focused. They just decide based on what they want, what their costs are, and what their objectives are. So some are very company focused. Some other companies use two of the three. They're customer focused. They consider what the company needs, so they're just two of three, and they're not very um, conscious of what competition is doing. Again, that is an incomplete and dangerous view of business and of marketing. Okay, you need all three. My analogy to this is, imagine if you were driving a car, okay, and in driving that car, you're the driver, you only use the front view mirror and don't use the side mirrors or the rear view mirror. If you do that, that's not a very safe way to drive, because you need to have a 360 view of everything that's happening so that you can drive safe, drive fast, and reach your destination safely. Okay, so this is the importance of the three C's of marketing, the three strategic C's. Now, corresponding to each of the C's are what we call key result areas. How do you know if you're serving your customer well? Well, part of the question in the quiz is if you can get repeat sales. Okay, so repeat sales, and not just sales, is the true test of customer satisfaction, because a satisfied customer will purchase again. For competition, you know you're doing it right if you get the key result area, which is market share. And for company, you know you're doing it right if you get um, profits. Okay, so these are the three key result areas corresponding to the three strategic C's of customer, competition, and company. Now, in our module, we are looking at value, and who determines value? It's the customer. Okay, he's the seeker of value. He looks for satisfying his needs, wants, and demands. Now, competition is a source of other value to satisfy the customer, and the company should create, communicate, and deliver value better than competition. So this mind map clearly demonstrates the three C's, okay, the three KRAs, and the link of this towards value, okay. And if we remember this, this also contains the definition of marketing. What's the operational definition of marketing? It's a process of profitably um, creating, communicating, it's the process of profitably satisfying customers' needs, wants, and demands by creating, communicating, and delivering value better than competition. Okay, so there's this interrelationship of the three C's as far as value, customers, and key result areas. Okay, so this mind map allows us to remember this and how these concepts relate to one another. Okay, so I'll hide this first. Next is market opportunity. Okay, what are the key elements as far as market opportunity is concerned? Okay. um, Let me just make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so market opportunity, there are three subtopics to it. There are three gaps related to the three C's. There are four steps in addressing when a market opportunity exists, and there are five considerations as far as the three C's are concerned. Okay, so when is there a market opportunity? When there's a gap happening with the three C's. So when there's a gap between what the customer needs, customer is the first strategic C, what competition offers, and what your company can offer better than competition. So there's a market opportunity if all these three elements happen at the same time. There's something that the customer needs, competition offers something to address those needs, but your company can offer something better than competition. So if there's one missing element, there's no market opportunity. All three have to be present. Okay? So if your company cannot offer something better, there's no opportunity, right? Okay. So this is the three gaps which will tell you if there's a market opportunity. Now, what are the four steps in addressing a market opportunity? And we have a code that helps us remember this. It's SSTP. The four steps in addressing a market opportunity are first, size the market, segment, select your primary target market, and then position. Okay. When you size the market, you want to make sure that it's big enough to matter and small enough to handle. Okay. So if it's not big or it's too small, then it might not make sense to take advantage of the market opportunity. For segments, segments are a group of customers with similar needs, wants, and demands, and therefore the answer to their needs, wants, and demands may be a product that's similar. Okay, a product. There's one product that will satisfy this group because of the similarity of their needs, wants, and demands. Now, after segmenting the market, you will then select your primary target market because you want to focus your limited resources. You don't have all the time in the world and all the money in the world, so you can't address the total market all the time. So you have to select your primary target market, and then you position using two things, no? The BAF, meaning communicating benefits, advantages, features, and the most important thing um, to focus on is benefits, because in the end, the customer is looking for benefits and not features. You also position using the 4Ps, and rather than expanding the selection here of the 4Ps, I actually created a totally new branch of concept for the 4Ps or the marketing mix, or currently the best way to refer to it is the branding. Okay? So these are the four steps in addressing a market opportunity. And then when there's a market opportunity, you again go back to your three C's to evaluate if it's worth taking advantage of this market opportunity. So we expand that. There are two of the C's which have five considerations explained in the I Love Marketing model. There are five things which you consider as far as the company. Is the opportunity aligned with the vision and mission of the company, with its goals and objectives, business portfolio, and strategies and tactics? Okay. An opportunity might exist where these three elements are present, but if it's not aligned to the vision and mission, it's conflicting to the business portfolio, it's not within the goals and objectives of the company, any of those reasons might be a reason not to take advantage of the market opportunity. For a competition, the five things you consider are: is the market attractive? by evaluating the 5 forces of Porter: the buyers to entry, power of suppliers, power of customers, competitive reaction, and let me add one more, um, the threat of substitutes. Substitutes. Okay, so this bulk explains all the things related to when is there market opportunity, what do you do when there's a market opportunity, and what do you consider when there's a market opportunity. So that's the second bunch of concepts in the model. The third one is the 4Ps. And as you know, the 4Ps are, first, the product or service that can deliver value to the customer. The second is the price. What will the customer need to pay um, to be able to avail of the product? Third is the place, where and how can this product be availed of? And lastly, communications. Okay, but since marketing wants things easy to remember, they label communications as promotions, so that it's all 4 Ps. No? It's kind of difficult to remember 3 Ps and 1 C. Okay, so the 4 Ps, the only one elaborated in the I Love Marketing model is the promotions, and it's useful to remember that there are 8 modes of marketing communication, which is further divided into 2. 4 are mass communications and 4 modes are personal communications. What are the 4 modes of mass communication? They are advertising, sales promotions, public relations, events and experiences. What are the 4 personal modes of marketing communication? These are personal selling, direct marketing, interactive marketing, and word of mouth. I know I can actually extend it a little bit more to explain all this, but for purposes of the mind map and the assignment, I'll leave it at this. No? So there's more to explain this, especially in the longer version, in the 1 hour version of the I Love Marketing model. Okay, so I'll close that out. In the end, the model says there are just basically 3 generic winning strategies to win in marketing and business. What are these 3 winning strategies that you have to focus on or choose from? Number 1, you're either the cost leader. You are able to produce something at the lowest cost and possibly sell it at the lowest price. Or if you choose not to sell it at the lowest price, you sell it at a price where you get the most margin compared to your competition. So this is one way to win in business and marketing. You have cost leadership. But generally, this strategy is very limited, because if there are 10 players in the marketplace, there's only 1 or 2 companies who can claim cost leadership. Okay, so this is nice to have, but for those who are not cost leaders, you have 2 options. You can either differentiate or you can focus on a niche. Okay, differentiation is being different in a sizable, large enough segment of customers with similar needs, wants, and demands. So this is the most common way, and for many companies, the only way to win. Be different to your primary target market, to your chosen segment. Okay, so be different. You cannot be the same as everybody else, because customers will have to choose you over other alternatives. Okay, now focus is what a more it's not actually a subset. It's a finer version of differentiation, because now you're different in a niche. What's a niche? Niche is a very narrow segment of the market, and the focus strategy dictates that you don't try to address the total market or a very large segment. You focus on a very identified, narrow segment called the niche and try to be the best in that particular chosen niche. Okay, so there are lesser players who are able to focus on being the best in a niche, but again, this is a more common strategy than cost leadership. Okay, so if I'll close it down, so the I Love Marketing model actually had four key topics, and if I expand that, those are the three C's. Again, I reduce this now so you can see it. Those are the market opportunity. These are the four P's, and this is the three generic winning strategies. Okay, so this is a mind map. In summary, there are four key concepts in the I Love Marketing model, and this is clearly shown in our mind map. So the first is about the three strategic C's of customer, competition, and company, the corresponding key result areas of sales, repeat sales, market share, and profit. The second key concept is market opportunity, uh, and we know when it exists, what to do, and the considerations whether the company wants to take advantage of it. The third key concept is about the four P's or the marketing mix. And finally, the fourth concept is about the three generic winning strategies for marketing, which are cost leadership, differentiation, and niche. So this is the mind map edition, the demo video for the I Love Marketing model. Happy learning! And one more thing, if you found value in this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, connect through my blog or through LinkedIn, so together we can serve.